I wish, should I start? Hello, should I start?
Yes, Shabbas. हाँ.
Okay, we will start today importing of schedules, 3D selection methods, and assigning 3D object to activities. In Synchro, we can import synchro.sp file, Asta Pro project, Microsoft XML, PMA.NET, Primavera P6, and IFC. All these schedule formats can be imported to Synchro. To import, just go to File, Import, Primavera P6. We can skip like resource codes. We can select as a skip. Merge means if already schedule is imported, we can merge to existing schedule. It's better to keep default. We can for tags also we can skip or import links. This all this will be given by planning engineer in P6 file, in scheduling file. Next, importing of 3Ds. Synchro can import 58 file formats, including Rhino, SketchUp, SolidEdge, Microsession, CATIA, Navisworks, Revit file. We can't import Revit file directly. We need to export. Uh, there is a plugin, Synchro plugin for Revit, for AutoCAD, for Microsession. So we can export as a .sp file that can be imported into Synchro. After importing, it will prompt us to 4 options. Assign to this resource, don't build tree. This option is suitable for importing equipment, and add resource underneath, don't build tree. This option is suitable for the equipment which need to be assembled in on-site.
Shabbas.
Assign to, yeah,
Can you reshare your screen? Like I would only see the Gantt chart and the schedule.
okay. Okay, I will repeat this once again. Yeah, for importing schedules and plans, you can import from Synchro Pro, and Synchro scheduler .sp file extension. As the PowerPoint, this is also planning software. Microsoft Project XML, PMA.NET, Primavera P6, IF. Mostly use is Primavera P6 file. Importing file formats. We can import 58 file formats for 3D modeling, including DWF, DWG, DGN, SketchF file, 3D PDF, IFC. Uh, Mostly IFC is the best format to import because it's open bin format. We can export from every authoring software. Coming to Revit file directly we can't import. We will use Synchro plugin to export .sp file. Coming to importing 3D. Okay, after importing 3D, it will come with the four options to select. One is assigned to this resource, don't build tree. This option is suitable for equipment. Add resource underneath, don't build tree. This is for equipment which need to be assembled. Assigned to this resource, build tree. This is for the object separately, assign object separately to different tasks. Fourth option, add resource underneath build tree. This is the suitable, well, I must say, most suitable option. It will come as individual elements in the below the tree. We can assign these individual resources to the task by creating groups or individual. To import 3D, we need to go to File, Import 3D. We can add more files from this option. It's better to import a single file at a time. Sometime it might merge different 3Ds. Assign to new resource. Next, resource type I will select as a material. Equipment for the equipments. Human for labors. Site engineers. Now 3D is imported. This was the fourth option. Add resource underneath build tree. Resources are added underneath and the tree is built. We can select individually. See, I will select first option. See, when I'm selecting one element, all elements are getting selected. Hmm. Something happened. Okay, it doesn't came as I desired. Let's re-import this one. Yeah, now you can see I selected first option. That is assign this resource, don't build tree. When I select this element, the entire excavator is selected. Yeah, I will show you the difference by importing with the second option. Let me restart software. Okay, something is happening. Importing is not coming properly. This topic I will revise tomorrow. I need to check. Okay, we will go with fourth option, importing 3D with the build tree. So, okay, I will report how to import 3D. Need to go to File, Import 3D, and browse through the location. We need to import architecture. Next, import, assign to new resource. Next, resource type material. Next, add resource underneath build tree. Next, finish. Now the 3D data object came. Same thing for structure. Import 3D. Do you have any doubt in importing 3D?
No, Shabbos. Clear.
While importing 3D, you'll get this pop-up window. We can check or uncheck for read unit information. When we check this one, when enabled, processes the unit information of the 3D object, uh, that is centimeter or inches. Read 3D text annotation. When enabled, Synchro will process any text assigned to 3D objects in CAD file. Process user fields. Okay, user field is important. User field is the parameters from authoring tools. When enabled, Synchro will import system and user generated parameters or tags with the 3D geometry as user field. Whatever the parameters we add in, for example, for Revit file, length, width, location, all those parameters will come as a user field in Synchro. Uh, uh, for ignore 3D objects, when it is enabled, objects that are hidden by filters or other display controls in 3D file will not be imported into SP file. We can check for ignore wireframe 3D objects. Okay, these are option we can check and check to while importing time. Resource creation. When we import 3D, by default, Synchro creates resources. Yeah, here is the resource palette. Actually, it was on second screen. I was searching where it went. These are the resources while importing 3D. Synchro will create automatically. Uh, Still, we can create resources by using resource wizard. Here, to access resource wizard, we need to right click or Control Shift R, resource wizard. The same pop-up window, it will comes while importing a 3D. This is resource wizard. Here we can select which while importing type. We can define the nature of the 3D to create new resource. Material, next, finish. Again, we can go right click, select resources, right click, resource wizard. So we can redefine these resources by using resource wizard. Assign to a new resource or a existing resource. Now this came under key, and this resource came under structure. We can redefine this thing using resource wizard. For example, curtain panel to resource wizard, assign to new resource. Next, system material. I will make these things as a location. We can rename as location curtain panel. See, the type is now location. Before it was material. Uh, you understand how to use resource wizard? How to change the resources nature after importing into Synchro? Any doubts?
No, Shatash.
Should I repeat this process again? Show both. Should I report importing and creation of resources? Hello.
Yeah, yeah, Shabash.
Okay. Do you guys know why we need to create resources? We are importing 3D, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can answer why we need to create resources again. We can assign, right? We can try to assign this 3D directly to the task. Why we need resources? Okay. When we import 3D, it will be as a 3D geometry. In order to assign to the task, we need to create resources. Without creating resources, we can't assign to the tasks.
Then a 3D geometry will only be for a representation until unless it be a resource, it cannot be added to task, right?
Yes. Next, grouping of resources. Instead of assigning one by one, we can group a certain number of 3Ds. Like for example, usually the construction happens in zone, like zone A, B, C, D. Zone A columns will constructed in certain date. Zone B columns will be constructed in another date. So we can group zone A columns as a zone A, and we can assign to a respective task, and that can be written by resource groups. Okay, first I will explain you selection methods. First one is left click. When we left click on mouse, 3D will be selected. Along with 3D, the respective resource also will be selected. So vice versa. If I select here, you can see 3D also selected. See 3D object window, you can see 3D, 3D resource, all simultaneously will be selected. When I click left click again, it will deselect. Next selection method is shift select. There is a difference between shift select and control select. When I press shift and keep on selecting, uh, it will like shift select means like it will be keep on adding. So I press control select, it will deselect those things. Difference is, see for example, now 3D is selected. If I press shift, if I select again, it won't deselect. If I press control, if I select, it will get deselected. This is the difference between shift plus left click, shift plus control plus left click. Is it clear the difference between shift select and control select?
Yes, Shabas.
Next, we can add in box. We need to press. Okay, there is another option here. Selection tool. Select on click. If I off this one, when I left click, no 3D will be selected. It should be on to the left click to work from mouse. Right click, selection tool, select on click. To cancel selection, one is left click, another is escape. If I add a box, selection box from top left to bottom, all elements within this selection box and the box it touches, no, all visible elements will be selected. Shift plus left click. Next is bottom right to top left. It will it will select all visible element. If any 3D element is hidden, it won't select from bottom right to top left. You can see columns are not selected because it was behind it.
And the last panel window is also not selected now. Is that mean that box did not touch it or is it hidden?
It means box didn't touch it.
Acha.
Next is top right to bottom left. This one selects all elements within the selection box and the all the touches that are visible or invisible. See, it selected everything. This will select the elements which touched by the box, both top to top right to bottom left. Okay, uh, if we press Control and when we select, unselected objects will be selected. And when we press Shift and we try to select the objects that were previously selected, plus new object will be selected. So I'll I will show you this difference. I will press shift. I will select. Oh, now I will press control and reselect. It will invert the selection. Okay, it's got it right. First shift select, again the control plus left click. It will invert the selections. Meeting room खाली थी ना? है यार, मैं प्रॉब्लम हाँ जस्ट इंटरफेस चलता है दिन मैं मीटिंग रूम खाली थे मीटिंग मीटिंग बिजी చేస్తాను ಕೆಲಸ मीटिंग ರೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಲೌಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಇವನಿಗೆ ಲಂಚ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಈಗೇನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ yeah any doubt regarding selection methods?
No.
See, apart from these selection methods, there are the in Ribbon. If you go to 3D selections, you can see select all. It will select all 3D. If you select only few elements, if you press invert selection, it will select the unselected element. This is for deselect all. Two different context menus. Okay, this one. If no 3D object is selected, when you right click, the 3D window context menu will be different. It will show the general settings. If you select any 3D, right click, it will show settings mostly related to the 3D manipulation. Select all, deselect, select by bounding box, assign to the task, zoom. You can see the difference. Context menu. Next, body linking process. Nothing but assigning resource to the task. First, we need to select the required appearance profile. These are default appearance profiles. Tell in detail appearance profile on next session. So we'll keep appearance profile as an install. We will search the roof. We can use search option. This is the task we need to assign to the roof. Okay, first method for 3D objects from 3D objects tab. 3D object tab. Go to roofs. Okay, just select, left click, drag. You can see it's assigned now. It was 0 before. Left click, drag. You can see that 3D resource assigned is 1. Next one is by selecting resources from resource tab. Go to resource tab. Here, left click, drag. You can see here resources are assigned now. Select 3D from the 3D window or resource tab or 3D object. Right click. Here also one option will come, assign to selected task. First we need to select task, then only it will work. Or we can use the shortcut Control Shift A. 3D resources assigned. Another method we need to select 3D task. Again right click. Again, here assign selected resource. Resources assigned. One more method is select 3D and drag and drop. Drag 3D to press Alt and drag to the required task. Seventh method is creating scripts. Uh, that is a lengthier process. It's called auto matching rule. We can create scripts to based on the user fields and assign using auto matching rules. Yeah. For today, it's also. Do you have any doubts regarding assigning linking for the process? Any doubts?
Shabaz, uh, like this is all built now. Like when it is from the scratch, like from the taking of bits to having lean concrete, then footing, then
Hmm.
foundation. We
Yeah.
need to import that figures also first, that 3D models also first, assign the task and come then stepwise.
Okay, I understand. Usually the construction happens in zone wise. Everything they will include in this schedule.
Okay.
So you just need to import the respective 3D, search the activity ID, and go keep on assigning the dates. Right, the planning is already done. Automatically it will take. If you go to 4D review, if you assign correctly to the proper task, simulation will come. No need to prioritize it because the calendar is already is there. Calendar, they will create calendar, relationship, resources, everything inside Primera P65. You can see the start date, finish date. If you assign 3D, the simulation will automatically take after assigning. During this duration, when you review or create output video, the simulation will come. You understood?
Yes, Shabbat, yes, yes.
Uh, Srigunal, do you have any doubts?
No showers.
Okay, you guys just need to practice what I told today. Let me check. Did I miss any topics to tell you? Next session, I will revise this importing options. Today it was not coming, so I will import. I will show you the what will the difference between this importation and the next. There's one more topic: creation of resource groups. Okay, bye guys.